Well, it's 12 o'clock and on the dot, and we said that we'd have a special guest with us via telephone, all the way from some remote location, is a singer and a songwriter who we've had many times on the show. He just released a brand new dynamic album. The album is entitled Achas, and he already released 2 music videos for it. Please welcome my guest, Mordechai Shapiro.
Hey, yo.
I feel like you're at a show. You want the crowd to go back, hey, yeah, hey, yo.
That's it. Let's do it. Hey, yo.
Hey, yo.
How you doing?
Good morning, Mordy. How you doing?
Oh, it's not morning anymore.
As of now. That's right. We just crossed over that.
Well, it depends where I am, because you said I'm in a remote location, which I will not disclose where I am.
Mordy, brand new album. This is very exciting for you.
Yes, it is very exciting, and I love the way that you opened up with singer and composer, because not that I need the credit, but I just like it. I'm not usually called a composer, and I think a lot of people also may not know that I happen to write a lot of my material, so I appreciate that. Thank you.
I think it's important because when your debut album, Mordy, came out back in 2016, I mean, you were like everybody else. There was Yossi Zweig, there was Eli Schwab, Baruch Levine's songs, there was, and there was one song, well, I don't even know, was there one song from you? I think there was one song from you, right?
There was one song from me on my first album.
Lo Alecha was from you, right.
Lo Alecha. And even before I put that out, I used to dabble in composing in high school and in yeshiva, and there was nothing great. First of all, my piano and guitar skills were also mediocre at the time, so I don't know. I had no confidence as a composer back then. My producers at the time said, "Yeah, let's do one of your songs." We did it. Didn't really go anywhere, and then I had less confidence. My next album, I was working with Yossi Zweig at the time, and I sent him Machar, and he was like, "This song is amazing." And I was like, "Really?" Because like you really don't know when you're a beginner composer yet.
Right.
But who else can I trust more than Yossi Zweig, who's one of the greatest composers of all time? And he said, "This track is so good, Machar. It's going to open the album." And I was like, "What? For real?" Because he wrote a bunch of tracks on that album, and you know, that gave me such a boost of confidence, which was Yossi was so good at. And then since then, I just never looked back. I just kept composing and kept believing in myself, and obviously bouncing it off of people that I trust. And on this album, I composed probably 90% of the album.
Yeah, I was going to say that. So, even on Machar, you did Me Other with Yossi, you did Home with Yossi. So it wasn't just that one song you did, and Smile was also yours. So that was definitely putting your foot in the water and testing the waters. But from the last 2 albums, and let's be honest, the last 2 albums are, you know, you were looking at 11 to 12 tracks each. And you had some massive, massive hits on the last album. You know, I mean, obviously the earlier albums too, but we're talking about you now writing these massive hits.
Yeah, Baruch Hashem. It's been a journey. It's been a learning experience, and I'm grateful. I'm grateful for the people, you know, for Yossi and others that gave me the confidence that I so much needed, because a lot of us have so much more than we can even comprehend. We have so much inside of us, and sometimes you need somebody special to help you bring it out. So I'm grateful to those. Yossi, my wife was always a great supporter, and some close friends. Now, obviously, my manager, really Ezrahi, and so many other close people that just, that can be straight with me when I need to hear the truth. Another friend, David Herskowitz, who has been a very, very big help on this album. Obviously, Daniel Kapler, who's a producer, but just people that are there to tell you when something's not good, when you're, and obviously to support you when it is. So.
It's funny because
it's all about having good people around you, a good team around you, and that's like so important.
No, definitely is. I remember having a conversation with Daniel. Sending him some songs, and he's like, "I don't know why Morty's asking for all these songs. He should just write them himself."
That's a pretty bad imitation of Daniel Kapler.
I don't spend as much time with him as you do. What can I tell you?
Right.
I get to see him once every 3 years, but yeah, definitely. Mordechai Shapiro with us via telephone talking about the brand new album, Achas, just released, available for digital download everywhere. So, Mordy, the difference about you, I think, as a songwriter, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, your typical songwriter, is going to like walk the show and words will come to him, and he'll write it down and maybe they'll be a hit, maybe it won't be a hit. I feel when we're talking about you as a composer, I believe that it's more like you're sitting down to say something. Like you have a discussion, you have a topic in mind, and you're trying to write a song. Am I wrong?
100%, you're right. And that also takes developing. It's not simple to, just writing alone is a science, in its own right.
Mm-hmm.
And then to connect the technical tools of what it takes to write a catchy song or a pop song or a hit song, and then to blend that with the emotions and with the message you want to give over. I mean, that's the ideal. And that also took time. Because in the beginning, I kind of just sat by the piano and tried to come up with a cute hook or a clever chorus. But then to really write with a teichen and with a message that's, like I said, that's what it's all about. And I absolutely try to do that. And I've gotten so much really amazing feedback. And so many people text me and they say, I'm sure you're getting a lot of feedback. I'm sure you don't need my message, but I just wanted to say, and they're kind compliments on the album. But I appreciate every word of feedback because I'm putting out the music for the world, and the feedback gives me tremendous chizuk to keep going. So don't hold back. I appreciate the compliments. And yeah, but it's all about the message. It's all, you can have the catchiest tune, but if there's no fire inside, if there's no teichen, if there's no deeper meaning, so then it could really, could fall flat, or it could be a hot song for a minute and then fall flat. But if it has something deeper, along with the catchiness, then, that's what I go for every time.
Okay, now Mordy, tell me, the album's out just about a week, right? It came out last Wednesday night?
Yeah, the album came out. I set it I set it to be uploaded as of like Shkia on Lag BaOmer, but for some reason Apple Music and Spotify just uploaded it a little early. So some people got a hold of it a little early. And people in Israel that had Lag BaOmer before us were able to listen. But yeah, the album came out Wednesday night officially, and it's almost 3 years. Just crazy. It's almost 3 years since Hakom Shamayim came out. Obviously, I put out a bunch of singles, throughout the years. Enod Movado and Abba and Tamid Siba and
Vihisha Amda.
Enod
Movado.
Enod Movado, right? So, but yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot of work. I know, but for all the listeners, it is so much work. It is endless. And then you think you're done, and then you realize there's so much more to fix and tweak and redo and go back for vocals and redo back vocals and redo the mix and listen to the mix. And then you think it's good, and then you go home and you wake up with fresh ears and you're like, how did I not hear that? Like, you can't hear the drums enough. And then there's just so much work that goes into it. But not complaining. I'm blessed. I'm blessed to be able to do what I love. But yeah, it's a lot of work.
I got to tell you, the fact that, like you said, you've released several singles definitely didn't make us feel like we were waiting for an album. There was always something new coming out. But Taka, why are there 2 or 3 songs that you released as singles that are not featured on the album?
So that's a good question. I felt like it was a little bit too far off. And first of all, I'm glad you said that, because we always feel the pressure. Like, we always feel like you need more material. And yeah, I put out a couple of singles. Obviously, COVID was in the middle, which kind of just confused things, because I think for me and probably a lot of other singers, we didn't know when COVID was going to be over. First, we thought it was going to be a few weeks. Okay, we'll quarantine with our kids. Cute, nice. And then Pesach was canceled. All the programs were canceled. All of our shows were canceled.
Right. And
then we had to think. We had to buckle down and say, well, we could put out music, but the whole point of putting out music is hopefully to perform and to be at events. And because that's how we kind of make our parnasa,
bread and butter.
Because these albums cost a lot of money.
Yeah.
And we weren't sure we were going to be back on stage. People were saying this is going to be years. So
then the summer happened, and then everyone thought it was over, and then all of a sudden, Yom Nairom, time circus time, and all of a sudden, second wave you're hearing, and you're like, uh-oh.
Exactly. So then in the middle, I put out Ein Malvado. Ein Malvado was already, I don't know, more than a year. So I don't know, I just felt like, I could have threw it on there. I was also going to maybe put Visham down there.
Ein Malvado actually came out in 2020. Yeah, it's more than 2 years. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's more than 2. Oh, you're right. It's 2 years. So it just didn't feel right. I think, people still love the song. I still love the song. I perform it at every show, but it was time to kind of start fresh. So Abba was officially the first single that I knew in my mind once I had kind of some sort of release date for the album.
Right.
That Abba was going to be, the first, and then followed by Tamid Yeshiva, and then ultimately the album, which we came out with Ashira as the and Achas obviously,
right?
But Achas was interesting because at a certain point I thought that the album was going to come out Pesach, even though that's so not
great time to release album, right?
Smart play, but I thought just want to get it out. It's been so long. Let me just get it out. First I was looking at Rosh Chodesh. First I was looking at Purim, and then Rosh Chodesh Nisan, and then I couldn't do it. But I wanted to at least get something out, so I could have some fresh material for my Chol Hamoed concerts. And then we came out like Voimer. So I had 3 songs already before the album, which was great. And then with the album release, I came out with the Ashira music video, which was directed by Rafi Baridas and Mati Berkowitz on video.
And featuring Danny Flam and company.
Donnie Flam, exactly. What a fun video. I'm telling you, such a fun video. It was a blast to shoot, and I hope people can feel that the genuine fun that we had shooting it. And the story behind that song, actually, I don't know if you have. Do you mind if I keep blabbering here?
No, this is what we're here for. By the way, I never heard of Ellie Spinowitz. Who is Ellie Spinowitz?
So that's what I was going to say. This song, the story behind the song is so awesome. I got this demo. My nephew, Eli Schiff, is a student at Yeshiva University, and he's into music, and he has a close chevra that they jam and they write, and some of them are producers, and they're in college. And so my nephew Eli sent me this song, Ashira, with a demo, I don't know, probably 10 months ago. And I heard this song, and I was like, this is amazing. I have to take this. It's just amazing. It's so fun.
Mordy, was the phrasing the same? It was as exactly as worthy as it is now?
This is exactly how it is.
Wow.
I think the only song on the album that I did not have any part, really, of the composition, the composition itself. So my name of the track, and I said, I'm taking it. Let me shop it around to see who's the right guy to arrange this. Obviously, I thought of Kapler, but Kapler already was doing 7 tracks on the album, and I some different, not that he wouldn't have done a great job as well, but I wanted some different colors. So after not finding the right guy, I said, this demo is pretty good. So Yehuda Pinsker is one of the chevra over there in YU. I asked him, can you produce this track? And he's done some productions, nothing major, more like smaller projects. And he said, yeah, let's do it. So, we helped him out with, me and Ruli helped him out finding musicians, because this was kind of his first rodeo in the, I'm not calling myself the big leagues, but just in this
professionally recorded album by a significant artist.
Right. And we moved ahead, and then it was mixed by Kapler, because Yehuda didn't have much experience in mixing. But I'm telling you, the whole process was just it was just cute. That's the perfect word for it. It was just like, he couldn't answer me. He's like, I'm going into a final. I'll get back to you when I'm done with my test. Right? I have it was just so funny, and I think a lot of that. A lot of those vibes you can feel in the song. It's got like a youthful, almost like college sound, like
Fun,
Usher Bucker in
innocence,
college.
just enjoying it. Yeah, definitely.
And these guys also, along with my nephew, they did the back vocals of the track.
Yeah, I'm looking
Just
at
to
it
kind
now.
of,
I see Seth Maza, Yehuda Pinsker, Ellie Spinowitz, Ellie Schiff, and Ethan Adler. So yeah, very, very. I saw
yeah.
what's his name. Maza shared the clip. His father. I just didn't know that his son was singing
Seth
on it.
Meza.
Yeah.
Seth Meza happens to be a phenomenal musician. He plays pianos on the track itself. He helped arrange the track. The main producer is Yehuda Pinsker. It was composed by Ellie Spinowitz. But Seth Meza actually just put a reel on my Instagram. You could see him doing a jam. He actually recorded this a few months ago, but I waited till the album came out, the music video.
Mm-hmm.
He's fantastic piano player. Take a look at that reel and you'll just be wowed. I mean, he plays the song like an acoustic piano version.
Wow.
It's fire.
I got to check it out. The thing I like the most now, looking at the credits, Danny Flum played on this song, and he's in the music video. He's not a friend that you called up and you said, Danny, you want to play? No. He's the actual recorded brass section. And
Exactly.
he's always a ball of fun whenever he's around. So kudos to
100%.
that.
And you're right. The fact that he did it both. I mean, often you'll have a music video and you'll have sometimes random horn players. You obviously can't always have the musicians from the actual track to come on a music video shoot. First of all, a lot of them aren't comfortable with that.
Right.
One guy who I have to mention is Mendy Portnoy. My first time working with him, he did 2 tracks, and I asked him to come on the Achas shoot, and he likes to stay behind the scenes. He's a very, very modest, sweet guy, doing amazing work with Thank You Hashem and with everything else. But he didn't want to be part of it. So anyway, Donnie Flom happened to be the horn player from the track itself, and he knew the solo. So, like, it was just perfect. It was flawless. We didn't have to have a horn player, like, kind of fake playing the solo because he doesn't really know it. And he heard the song.
By the way, Mordy, what's my favorite scene from the music video?
Favorite scene from the music video? I don't know.
My favorite scene is when the camera's panning and the doors to the car start opening, and it goes from car door to car door to car door, and then you come and everybody's behind you and you're still going at the camera. That scene, that's like something I'd expect from the secular market. It's a really cool, things keep happening, pieces keep moving, different colors coming at you. Is very cool scene. So shout out to Rafi.
Baritas.
Yeah.
Rafi is so talented. He has everything. He has every scene, every second of the song prepped beforehand, and then it's just about executing on the day of and hoping for good weather, which we Baruch Hashem had. Mm-hmm. Especially, I mean, you can even notice that there's a slight change of weather in the video, even though we shot the whole thing in one day. We were in Brooklyn in the morning, and it was a little bit more cloudy. Even though the beginning of the video starts off when we shot it later in the day, actually in Manhattan.
Yeah, I was going to say, you left your car parked like that in Manhattan? Center. How did that happen? How do you just leave a car in Manhattan?
So we had a crew there that was just kind of, directing and making sure people stayed out of the shots, obviously, in the nicest way.
Right.
But the sun was just perfect when we shot in the afternoon. One of my favorite shots is by the by that colorful wall right across from the World Trade Center.
I think you see that towards the end of the song. I think, yeah.
Yes, correct. So Mendy Portnoy was a gem. Shlomi Zaltzman, first time working with him.
Yeah,
I mean, everybody knows he's a super talent. Throughout the years, I always wanted to work with him, but I don't know. We never found the right song. Just never worked. And finally, we did Ana Hashem with him, written by Mordechai Shapiro, who I've done a bunch of work with him over the years. He's written One in a Million. He's written what else? He's written a few for me.
Too many numerous songs to remember. Yeah, he's definitely written a lot. I got to tell you, one of my friends called me. He's like, "Who wrote track 4?" Yossi, you have the book, because he didn't have the book yet. And I said, Mordechai Shapiro. I was like, Mordechai Shapiro? Like this doesn't sound like your typical Mordechai Shapiro song at all.
Right. So it happens to be, Mordechai Shapiro is like he's a perfectionist, and he's very serious about his craft. I took his bones and I did shift it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I did change the chorus a drop, which is why I was part of the composition. But yeah, he's Bichlal, aside from all the pop, which obviously there's tons of pop and on this album, I wanted to give over a little bit more of a mature side, which is why I opened the album with Achas.
Instead
Which
of
I
a
knew
regular pop hit that's going to blow your head off, and lots of
exactly
Daniel Kapler thrills and the voice modulations.
exactly. So I thought it was I thought it would be bold to start with Achas, change things up. The cover is a little bit more serious, a little bit more. I don't know if mature is the right word because I'm not that mature, but but
No,
I tried to just.
I think you're right.
I tried to just expand.
Yeah.
And Achas and Ana Hashem, were part of that initiative.
I got to tell you, Mordy. The funny thing is about you is, and you know this because we've done shows together where we introduced you, and you come out with an umbrella. Why? Because the Machar video was shot in the rain. And then I look at track 2, you have Dancing in the Rain. So I was like, didn't Mordy do this already?
Yeah, that's funny. So Dancing in the Rain, and it's funny because obviously right when this concept was born, I was actually on an Instagram live interview with Shimi Adar.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you know Shimi.
Sure I do.
So Shimi and Danielle, her husband, is a good friend of mine, and we were doing this Instagram live, and I don't even know. I have to go back to the interview to see how it happened. But as we were talking, somebody mentioned Dancing in the Rain. Maybe Shimmy did, or maybe I did. I don't know. And I said, those are great lyrics for a song. Dancing in the rain, dancing through the pain. That obviously we all go through our own troubles and tough times, but to dance through it, to smile, to try to smile through the rainy times. So I literally turned to my keyboard at the time and tried to write a hook. And then people didn't think it was serious. And then I just told Shimmy a month ago, by the way, I wrote a song Dancing in the Rain. So we might do a follow-up interview just to rehash.
Interesting there.
But,
this, of course, you wrote together with Chayla Newhouse, who's written many hits in the last few years.
Yes.
One or two that were on your last album already.
Yes. Chayla Newhouse wrote the lyrics for 24/7. And we together wrote Dancing in the Rain. She's doing amazing work these days also. So much coming out of her. A Yid Never Breaks. I mean, so much good coming from Chayla.
So Dancing in the Rain, Mordy, you're saying is a song about, smiling through the hard time, so to speak.
Correct, yeah.
So this had nothing to do with personal life. This is just, a song title that caught your eye and you wanted to try to work with that, so to speak.
I mean, it definitely has what to do with my personal life. That's the goal of all my songs,
right? Is
to try to use my personal life, my personal feelings, and what I go through, on a day to day. Obviously, and a lot of the album has a similar theme, which is trying to light up the dark times.
Mm-hmm.
Achas was born. Achas was born that way. Last Elul, actually, I was going through a lot. I don't have to go into the details, but I was going through tough times, and I noticed
that was after you visit Israel, right?
Elul after a trip to Israel could be.
Yeah. Okay.
And I noticed we say the David Hashem Ori every day after davening in Elul. And I decided, let me take a closer look. Let me see what this is about, because we just say it at the end of davening really quickly. So I opened up an art scroll. My Hebrew is pretty good, but I wanted to open up an art scroll and then these words just slapped me in the face. Achas shalt mi es Hashem. I was mamish in tears, actually. I know it sounds a little cheesy, but I was in tears as I was reading these words. Achas shalt mi es Hashem. David HaMelech says, I just want to be close to you. I just want to be close to you and see you in my life. And I had to write a song. And then other words from there, because I was so inspired by this kapitel of Tehillim, is Al Taster Panecha Mimeni. And that I turned into more of a pop song, Abba.
Mm-hmm.
Al Taster Panecha Mimeni.
Mimani? Yeah.
Yeah. So that's where those songs were born, and yeah, I definitely try to infuse my personal life into these songs.
Well, along those lines, I mean, Get Back Up Again is probably, something else. I don't know if there's a particular story you wanted to tell us about, but definitely everybody feels, I mean, let's be honest, Mordy. Whether people see on Instagram that you're having fun and going out to eat and traveling or whatnot, the reality is life is hard. Whether you're single, whether you're married, whether you have children, everybody's has good times and bad. They're not always good. So you definitely need to, yeah.
Not sweet, yeah. Obviously, it's not so simple. I know some people can, but I don't really go on Instagram when I'm not in the mood,
Mm-hmm.
or when I'm having those tough times. I don't typically share those with the world, but they're definitely there naturally, because you need those dark times to get to a higher place. No pain, no gain are lyrics from that song. I worked with Avshalom Ariel, a new producer,
Mm-hmm.
that one of my friends, David Herskowitz, was doing some research, because we were just trying to expand with our producers. And I had a Zoom with him. He's such a sweetheart. And we built this concept together and wrote the lyrics together, which that's a new thing that I'm kind of dabbling with now, is lyrics.
You used to outsource that to Miriam Israeli or to Chayla Newhouse, but now you're buckling up.
Right. I mean, listen, Chayla Newhouse still did a few for me. But yes, I'm trying to always expand my abilities.
Mm-hmm.
At first I didn't think I can compose, and then I started doing that a little more, and I thought, composition was not my thing, but now I'm trying a little bit, one song at a time.
That's a good title for a song. Mordy, that's a good title
one of my favorites.
That's a good title for a song, Mordy. One song at a time.
One song at a time. Nice. I like that.
You're saying this is one of your favorites?
Get Back Up Again,
yeah,
is one of my favorites, because it's a pop song, but it's got good feeling, and I sang it a little bit softer than I would typically sing a pop song. Directed by Avshalom, who produced it. He wanted me to, I can't stand this feeling inside, just to come on a little bit softer, and then the
mm-hmm.
chorus just comes in with a bang. Really excited about that song.
It's funny you're saying pop. I don't know. For me, I felt it was like more of an R&B vibe, which was different for me because it wasn't your typical pop.
Right. It's definitely different. I don't know. I'm not exactly sure how to categorize these songs. I don't know if it's R&B. It's actually kind of reminding me of a pop from just a different era.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
I don't think it's R&B. I think it's more of a pop from like the 90s.
That could be.
That was kind of the goal, but yeah.
Okay, Mordechai Shapiro with us via telephone. We're discussing the release of his latest hit album, Achas. Fourth album to date, Mordy. You've covered many songs over your last few albums and singles. Was it necessary for you to put an Ashes Chayil? I mean, because Ashes Chayil are high goals. You know what I'm saying? There are dime a dozen Ashes Chayil, and there are so many recognizable Ashes Chayils that people have sung over the years. So why was it important for you to put an Ashes Chayil on this album?
Okay, first of all, that's a great question. Putting everything else aside, Yossi, that is a fantastic question. Like, just confronting me with my Ashes Chayil. I love it. But the simple answer is, you're right. Why did I put out another Ashes Chayil? It just came to me. Honestly, the melody and lyrics. Sometimes you can't fight the hashgacha pratis.
Mm-hmm.
I sit by my piano every day. Sometimes things come to me. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes I'm just playing for fun. Sometimes I play with my kids, and sometimes melodies just come to me, and words and the concept of Ashes Chayil just kind of popped into my head, and I just went with it. Obviously, trying to expand on my, I'm still doing a bunch of weddings, thank God. So it's nice to just further my repertoire of wedding material. And like I said, it just came to me, and I loved it, and I just moved ahead with it.
Because Mordy, you're a very methodical person. I know you're not the guy that says, okay, I got to throw in a song that will fit this bill. I got to throw in a song. So I happen to like the song, but I wanted to know what was your reasoning behind it.
Right.
We actually sped right by Val Kulam, which I got to tell you the arrangement for this song also is kind of like 80s 90s dance, and I loved it. I love the whole sound of this song, but it was very different. When you were saying before, like a more mature you. Yes, Mordy is pop. Mordy is most of your teenagers and youngsters will like it, but this album definitely has. It's a lot well-rounded where you won't just say, it's Mordy, it's a teeny bopper, nobody else will like it. There's a lot of very, very mature sounding and mature lyrical songs in this album. This one definitely, popped on my radar very quickly. I think I heard it the first time and I was already, okay, like check that one on the side.
Yeah. Oh my God. As we were building that arrangement, I couldn't even sit down. I was jumping around the studio with Kapler. The funny thing is, the original arrangement that we were working with was actually very different.
Mm-hmm.
It was actually halftime. It was going to be closer to a Schar Mitzvah, Hakol Mishamayim, 100 BPM kind of song.
Right.
And then I don't know if it was my idea or David Herskowitz was also there. And we said, Daniel, maybe just double the kick. Give us that 80s vibe. And he said, really? And I don't know. And then he did it, and we were like, yes, this is it. And it was so different and so exciting.
Yeah, because the way this song starts off, you would never expect it to go where it goes.
Right. And I like how you touched on that as well. Throughout my, I don't know, when did Kol Derech come out? 6-7 years ago?
2016, my friend. 2016, if you can believe it.
What is it? 8 years ago?
Yeah. No,
wow.
That's 6 years ago.
Oh, 6 years ago. Wow. That's my math is obviously 6 years. That's crazy. It's crazy. And Teeny Bop Singer is definitely is definitely something that people titled me as. And listen, songs becoming very popular is obviously the goal,
right?
But also expanding and expanding my crowd, and like you said, a more mature sound, even if it's pop, even if it's happening and slapping, but that it shouldn't just be for 10 to 20-year-olds, but that it should be fun for everybody to listen to. That was definitely the goal. I'm happy you touched on that. So I tried to accomplish that.
No, I think you did very nicely. Between Achas, Ashira, Ashes Chayil, that's not, what anybody would say would be Stomp for youngsters. And I don't, by the way, I don't want you to get the wrong idea when I said like teeny boppers youngsters. What I mean is songs that are very easy to pick up and have a very fast, beat to them. They're easy for the youngsters. They're easy for youngsters to pick up, and that's what makes a song flute in somebody's mouth. That it's just easy to pick up. You can almost read where the song is going to go in the next part. Now, the exact opposite of that is 24/7. By the way, what's with the beginning of this song? Can you tell me what's going on? Because I couldn't figure it out for the life of me.
Honestly, I feel like I should have prepared a better answer for this question, because this is. I wish there was a deeper meaning. Maybe I shouldn't answer it and come up with like a Torah of why we came up with that intro.
No. I don't understand what the first guy is saying. The second guy says 9 to 5, but the first speech, I don't know what it was.
It's just Kapler working his magic. It's just Kapler doing a thing and keeping things fresh, keeping things interesting. And when I heard it, I was like, wow, this is so different. This is so great. So we ran with it. Yeah, but 24/7, also such a fun song. A message about relationships, really any kind of relationship, whether it's friendship or whether it's relationship with Hashem. And just 24/7, I'm here for you. You can internalize that in any way, that you see fit. But
very interesting. I thought it was for sure about Hashem. I didn't see it as any other relationship. I guess that's just the way I was trying to analyze the song. But you're saying it could be for anybody.
Correct. Yeah.
It's the only till the last set of lyrics. Then when you have God is the greatest giver, but before that, it's just, it's open to interpretation. I'm here for you.
Well, the concept of being there for somebody else, it all comes from Hashem, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Torah of Hashba is something that's very, very dear to me. It's a big concept in Hasidus of Makabel and Mashpia, and how we are Makabelim because Hashem gives us life, and we're born into this world and we take everything that he gives us.
Mm-hmm.
But the ultimate goal of our lives is to turn into mashpiyim, is to turn into givers.
Mordy, this is too deep, man. This is too deep for the Mordy Shap that I usually know.
Yeah, so well, that was really the message behind that song, and really that was what my Rebbe always preached. Rev. Brandwein, who I'm sure I've mentioned over the years, he was nifter a bunch of years ago, but obviously his Torah lives on, and I'm very close to his Rebbe, Velio Alfasi, and this is the Torah. This is all they speak about. Emulating Hashem. How do we emulate Hashem? By being givers. By being givers to your family, to your friends, to the people around you. That's how we can reunite our neshama to its highest level. It's called Hashvas Hatsura, is the Kabbalah term, which is equating. Yeah, it's deep, but it's not so deep. It's so 24/7 is really just about being a mashpia, being there for others. Obviously, Hashem is there for us, and we have to try to do the same.
Another thing I noticed, Morty, about the album, including this song and I think two others, the arrangements on some of the songs are barely there. There's a lot of you singing with a little bit of an accompaniment in the background.
Right.
Which is very different. Morty, you're expecting a full-blown out, electronic arrangement.
That's true. Starting with Achas. I mean, Achas starts off with just some guitars, and we wanted to keep it very simple. Listen, there's plenty of pop, but you're right. There was... We also wanted to pull back a little bit with the music. Ashira, even though it has tons of music going on, is also it has a live feel. So even though it's got pop vibes, but it also it's all live instruments. So it's a live bass. It's live, except for maybe the drums might be MIDI, maybe a combination.
Right.
But piano live, bass is live, guitars are live, horns are live. So that also was like a kind of a different flavor, from what I've done in the past, which is, like you said, a little bit more electronic. Yeah.
But I don't just mean that. I mean,
I'm trying to evolve. I'm trying to keep things fresh.
You have a very melodic voice. Let's be honest here. So, even this. I'm saying that there's very little accompaniment because your vocal is giving you the actual melody.
Yes, correct. And I've heard a lot of people are like, how do you even sing this song? It's so hard to sing. It's Dove Katz. I was on a job with Chroma the other day, and he's with some people, and they're like, the verse is too fast. You can't sing it. And he said, are you talking about it? Is this what we're talking about at our Shabbos table? Then Mordechai, and it's a success.
This is sure people sitting there saying, how many times did he have to record that till he got it right? Like, how many are there any flubs that we can hear about, where he totally messed up the words?
Yeah, I recorded that by Ruli Ezrachi, who's my manager, and I knew that he obviously he's a producer and he's an engineer, but I just wasn't aware that he did vocals, and then I heard, and we went in there and we were up until, I can't even tell you, especially that song Ashira. We recorded it the whole day, and at 3 a.m, I'm not joking. At 3 a.m, I'm still sitting in the studio, and we took a break for some dinner, and the end of the song where it goes yadadum, where there's just piano and strings and a clap. That wasn't part of the original arrangement.
Really?
Yeah. I said, really, just give me. I was sitting by the piano, and I said, really, just give me the claps. Keep the claps going, and yadadum badadum bum, and I just kind of wanted to create this vibe like the I don't know if I'm allowed to say on the air, but like the Beatles, no, 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 just to give that. Obviously, I couldn't make the song 8 minutes long
Right.
because I was still wanting to keep it commercial and in the pocket. But yeah, I think at concerts it'll allow me to
Give and take with the crowd and have
expand
some
on that
fun. Yeah,
and to
100%.
get the crowd involved. We're hoping to. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to announce this, but we're hoping to do a show in Brooklyn in a
Nice.
few weeks
Excited.
as an album release concert
Good idea.
party. It's going to be big news, so hopefully stay tuned for that.
I got to tell you, when I finished listening to this song, Morty, I looked at my wife. I was like, he should have named this song Yada Ba Da Da Ba Da. It would have been like such
I
a
should have called
Morty.
it that.
It would have been such a Morty. So like, oh, okay. Why is this?
Yeah, I like that.
And
I like that.
Morty, you're listening to the first 2.5 minutes of the song. You're like, why is he calling it Yada Ba Da Da? And then you get to that last 30 seconds, and you're like, oh, now I get it. Yeah.
Right.
Mordechai Shapiro with us via telephone, just wrapping up an interview about his latest album, Achas, in stores now, available for digital download. So ABBA, of course, released beforehand, which we all know as that powerhouse vocal, and Tamid Yossi, which you performed the first time at the Hess concert, the day it was released this past January. Roller coaster, Morty. Are you, by the way, are you a roller coaster guy? Are you a guy that loves thrill rides, or are you not?
I grew up loving roller coasters. Then I don't know. You go through a few years where you just kind of don't. When you get married and then you have like little babies, so you're not really running to Six Flags and running on roller coasters anymore.
I don't know.
So then
I never went on roller coasters. I've always been very scared of them.
The first time I went on a roller coaster after probably 10 years was in the Friends music video.
Really?
With
Right.
And Gang, and it was like a lot. It was overwhelming. I was like, I'm not a kid anymore, and I didn't throw up, but I basically almost did. But yeah, I definitely get a good thrill out of a roller coaster.
Mm-hmm.
But this song was written by, do you have it there?
Estelle Trebel.
Estelle, yes. From, I'm trying to think what city she's from. I'll tell you, and I'm sure you've heard from many other singers, we get a lot of demos.
Yeah.
I get demos every day. My WhatsApp, my email. So many Israelis that are sending me tracks. Check this out. You like it? You want to buy this? And honestly, I'm speaking for myself, but I think most singers also can agree. It's very rare that we'll get from a no name, not to call her a no name, but a no name,
a newcomer,
random demo I got in my email. Somebody went to my website, filled out, hey, here's the song, and it was a very how do I say, unprofessional demo.
Mm-hmm.
It was just like a piano and a vocal, but I love the message of a roller coaster. Life is a roller coaster. So I jumped on it, and I tweaked it a little bit, which is why I co-composed it. I kind of recreated the chorus. I
also think this is one of those songs that didn't have a lot of arrangement to it in the beginning.
Yes, as well. Yeah, correct. We wanted to keep it, how do I describe? Just soulful. I think
that's
is the way to describe it.
Because it's not a ballad, so I can't say ballad.
It's not really ballad, although it could fit in the ballad. It's not it's a slow song, but I hear what you're saying. Yes.
So you're saying that there's no chance in the world that you're doing a music video and getting back on a coaster just for the song?
Yeah, actually, somebody asked me that. I posted on my Instagram the other day. Which song should I do a music video for?
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, I never know if people, respond to those things, but Baruch Hashem, we got a ton of responses.
I say Val Kulam if my opinion means anything.
So I got a lot of votes on Val Kulam. I have to go through them to see what the actual winner was, but a lot of Dance in the Rain, 24/7, Val Kulam, Ana Hashem, Zetov, which is the last song on the album. And roller coaster. Somebody said you got to do roller coaster on a roller coaster, but it's a slower song. It fits the vibe. But listen, if it could, maybe I'll do that.
We have to fly Morty to Florida, and he's going to have to go to Disney one day, and then to Universal the other day, and then to SeaWorld, and shoot on 3 different coasters. What do you say?
I'll have to work with Disney to like maybe get them to slow down the roller coaster. We'll shut down the park,
or they could just shoot you on a green screen going up and down in just a bucket.
We'll get permits. We'll spend millions of dollars,
Right.
and we're gonna slow down the roller coaster. Yeah.
Now, as much as I love lots of songs in the album Mordy, I didn't tell you this because we didn't speak yet, but my favorite track is track 12.
Zetov?
Zetov. I don't know. Something about it clicked very much with me. And actually, that's the track I'm going to play you out with today. Something about this track clicked with me immediately.
Wow. I love hearing that, because first of all, it's another producer that I'm working with. Itai Shimoni, his name is, who also David Herskowitz, as he was doing research for more producers. And I remember when I played like the first solid demo we had for my wife, she was in tears. And my wife does not speak a fluent Hebrew at all. She's a basic Hebrew. She didn't even understand all the words. She just said something about this song is so sweet. Even if life isn't perfect, I promise you it's still okay.
Okay, yeah.
It's still okay. Just nice words. And I also got some requests for that, for a music video. So it's just great. It's great to know that people are enjoying all the songs, and obviously everyone connects with something different, or hopefully they connect with a lot of it. But I'm so glad to hear that that's your favorite song. Yeah.
That isn't to say that I don't like anything else. I do. I like them all, Val Kulam and Ashira, like, as soon as I heard those two, I was like, he has to do a video. And then I wrote to you have to do Shira. You're like, did it already. By the way, that's another reason. Yeah.
Because as the album came out Wednesday night, I was at an event in Brooklyn, the Mishnathon,
right,
with the Syrians. Beautiful, like such a beautiful event. Thousands of fathers and sons learning. They make a siyum. What a beautiful event. And I put out this thing. I put out the album, not this thing, the album. And
that thing,
I started getting quick feedback. WhatsApp, email, Instagram. And I got so many people that said Ashira is the bomb. It needs a music video. And I was so happy because that's the one that we chose to release with the album. So it was just perfect. It really worked out well. And now we're on to the next.
Mordy, I want to thank you very much for your time. I know how busy you are and all the things going on in your life. I just want to tell you, I as a DJ, as a music fan, I'm loving the album. Keep putting out more great Jewish music, and I can't wait to see what you're doing next.
Thank you very much, Yossi. Always appreciate talking to you. Questions were great, and it's nice for me to reflect. Honestly, that's really one of the greatest things about this interview, and I mean, I don't think I've done really any others since the album came out.
Oh, we're the first! Awesome. Okay, yeah.
I have one today with Menachem Toker in Israel.
Oh.
It was supposed to be before yours, but rescheduled. But it gives me a chance to reflect, really, to just reflect on all the wonderful people and beautiful people that I worked with, and the super talent and composers and producers and Ruli and David and Kapler and Chaya Newhouse and Mendy Portnoy and Shlomi Zaltzman, and I mean, there's so many names, but thank you for giving me the chance to reflect on this work of on this, hopefully what people will see as a work of art. It's just so much work goes into it. So thanks for the time. Always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure, Morty. Take care. Tzlacha Rabba and Mazel Tov again on the new album.
Thank you. Talk soon.